OPPO Reno 4 Pro. It's quite the looker with a curved AMOLED screen to the front and matte glass finish to the back. So does it have what it takes to get us excited about the Reno series again? Let's find out in today's unboxing. Hey guys, Ash here from C4eTech, and if you do end up liking what you see in this video, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Let's now get started. We have this giant OPPO box with Sense the Infinite on top, sliding it open. This is the reviewer's package. The first thing inside is a little greeting. We then have the reviewer's guide for both the OPPO Watch and the Reno 4 Pro, followed by this box which houses some cards. Bury these and you can grow tiny little plants. This here's the OPPO Watch, which we will talk about in depth in our next video. I've been using it for a while now, so I will have the review out pretty soon. For now, let's concentrate on what seems to be the retail phone box. We have nice color changing branding all around. This is the Starry Night variant. Let's now cut through the seal, slide open the cover and take a look at the box inside. Popping open the lid, we are greeted by a white insert. Inside we get a SIM ejector pin, some paperwork and a soft see-through case. Keeping those aside, let's now take a look at the star of the show, the Reno 4 Pro. Removing the plastic protective wrap and the sticker to the back. This is a first look at the 4 Pro. I love how this back feels in hand. The textured matte finish is super difficult to show on camera. You guys can see the subtle grey gradient. In hand, it feels grippy. We then have a 65-watt SuperVOOC 2.0 charger, USB Type-C cable with yellow accents, and finally a pair of Apple EarPods-esque earphones. Coming back to the Reno 4 Pro, like I said, I do like this back. Not only does it look cool, but it also doesn't pick up fingerprints. It has a very subtle color changing effect, at least on this black Starry Night finish. OPPO also offers the Reno 4 Pro in silky white, again sporting a similar matte finish to the back along with a contrasting reflective camera setup. Now what surprised me here is that the individual camera modules, they are elevated. So they kinda are what the phone's gonna rest on if you place the phone on a flat surface. So I guess that's something we need to be careful about. Anyway, since we are here, let's take a look at the optics. The primary sensor is 48 megapixels, the Sony IMX586. It's coupled with an f1.7 lens. We've seen this sensor on many phones in the past, and as expected, we get sharp looking shots with bright colors. The dynamic range is excellent as well. Now, we have all the usual OPPO options in here, including dazzle color, but what stood out to me was the feature in the Pro mode. Yes, we can take 108 megapixel photos using the Pro mode on the OPPO Reno 4 Pro. We also have a night mode included. OPPO's ultra dark mode does take some good looking shots even when there's not a lot of light around. Next, we have an 8 megapixel ultra wide, which again, initial impressions looks quite promising. The color science is similar to the primary, and the wide field of view makes for an interesting perspective as always. The final two shooters here are both 2 megapixels. The first is a dedicated macro camera that takes shots like these, and the next is a monochrome sensor to help with portrait photography. It's also worth noting that OPPO has included a few neat little AI portrait tricks here. We have portrait color retention that only keeps the subject in color. Now this works in photos as well as videos. We also have monochrome video where you can choose a primary color, and other than that the rest of the video is black and white. Speaking of videos, we can capture up to 4K at 30 FPS. There's Ultra Steady 3.0 that lets us shoot stable footage with the selfie camera, the primary camera as well as the ultra wide, the latter being called Ultra Steady Pro. Oh, and talking about the selfie cam, we've got a 32 megapixel shooter here. I like the details and skin tones on this. We can find it nestled inside the punch hole to the top left of the 6.5-inch panel, which happens to be an AMOLED panel. This is Full HD Plus. There's minimum bezels to the top and bottom, curves to the sides. OPPO is calling this their bezel-less 3D bodiless Sense screen because the screen to body ratio here, it's over 92%. We get the traditional inky blacks and vivid colors that we've come to expect from AMOLEDs. OPPO has even included an under the display fingerprint scanner here. The best part about this display is the refresh rate. It goes up to 90 Hz and ColorOS looks super smooth with fluid animations. Just look at how smooth this new Gravity Live wallpaper looks on the Reno 4 Pro. Unfortunately, I wish that we had a more powerful processor backing all this up. The Snapdragon 720G is a little over a year old now, and if you're into something intensive like say a game of PUBG, it can start to show its age. Furthermore, the Adreno 618 GPU inside isn't going to be strong enough to push a consistent 90 frames per second with heavy games, those that actually support high frame rates. With day-to-day use though, it should be fine. The 180Hz touch sampling rate also helps with making the whole interface feel more snappy. ColorOS 7.2 does end up feeling quite smooth for the most part. And that's also thanks to the 8 gigs of RAM that makes multitasking a breeze. Apart from that, we've got 128 gigs of onboard storage and micro SD. Yes, the Reno 4 Pro, it comes with a dedicated micro SD card slot. We can find it to the top of the phone where the 3 card slot resides along with the secondary mic. Checking out the rest of the placements, we have an accented power button to the right, volume up and down keys to the left. The bottom holds the 3.5mm headphone jack, the primary mic, USB Type-C port, and a surprisingly loud speaker. Speaking of which, the Reno 4 Pro comes with Dolby Atmos audio, OSI vision effect for punchier color effects, as well as Widevine L1 and Netflix HD certification, making this a powerhouse for content consumption. Powering all of this is a 4000 mAh battery, and I have to give OPPO credit here. The Reno 4 Pro is surprisingly sleek at just 7.7mm despite sporting a fairly high capacity battery. And it's not just that. Despite the battery plus premium glass sandwich construction, OPPO's even managed to keep the weight at around 160 grams. That plus the curved sides, the textured back, it makes for an excellent in-hand feel. Coming back to the battery for a minute, the Reno 4 Pro comes with a super power saving mode as well as super nighttime standby. The latter is supposed to consume only 2% of the battery over 8 hours. And if in case you do happen to run out of charge, the 65-watt VOOC Charge 2.0 adapter can get the phone from 0 to 100 in 36 minutes flat. So there's a lot to like about the Reno 4 Pro. It's stylish, it's unique, it's got that stellar 90Hz curved AMOLED panel, a sizable battery, 65-watt fast charging, as well as some pretty interesting optics on board. Now I do wish it had stronger internals, but a lot of how this phone's gonna fare is gonna boil down to what the pricing is, which by the time this video goes live, I'm sure you guys know. So taking into account the fact that this phone is aimed more towards the offline market, what do you think about the Reno 4 Pro? What do you think about OPPO's pricing? Leave a comment down below and let me know. And with that, I guess we get to the end of this video. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about it. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. And thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.